was 1981. I was pregnant with our third child, and we had not, we went to a Lutheran college, so we did church all the time in college. And when we got married, it was kind of like, I guess we don't really have a church. I guess we're really not going to church. But all of a sudden, we've got these 3 kids. None of them are baptized. That was important in our growing up. And so I said, we need to find a church.
Yeah, we had a great new member gathering group. And there used to be sponsor families, so the Austins took us under their wing. And they had kids who were in school with our kids at the time, so it just felt real comfortable.
So our second child was like 5, would he have been 5 or 6 when they were baptized? And I remember him up at the baptismal font with the baptismal water all down his shirt. His green shirt.
Still does that today.
Well, I feel like it's most plugged in through choir, because we built some friendships even outside of church through our association with choir. I love making lefse for the, that was kind of started through the choir too, but that's just a fun, everybody's in the kitchen doing whatever, getting their lefse made, and you feel like there's a goal that you're trying to meet, and lots of conversation, and you meet lots of new people because new people come to make lefse all the time, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah, and I think too that there are so many opportunities to help serve here at church. We've both been past presidents of the congregation. We've served on council and committees for years, and that's how you stay plugged into Grace and meet people in different opportunities to serve. Chaperoning kids trips that when we don't have kids that are in the program anymore is kind of fun. When you get a tap and say, gee, could you help us out? And say, well, sure.
We do welcome some amazing people that might not otherwise have felt comfortable in a church where not everybody's welcome.
Gosh, the first thing that just pops into my mind is when all of a sudden we took in a bunch of homeless people that were going to be sitting outside in some very nasty weather. And our leadership of this congregation pulled it off, and we continue to do that on a grander scale. So I was very proud when somebody came up to me and said, oh, you're that church that took in all the homeless people. That just made me feel very important as a part of this congregation and community.
I've had those feelings of pride about the playground. People have said, what, you have children in your church service all the time? Yep, we do. So the playground has been something else that's, gives you a feeling of pride, or, yeah, that's our church. We do that there. We are most supportive of places that are close to our hearts. So Grace, of course, is close to our heart. We also support Gustavus and Children's. Yeah, so we've chosen three organizations that are important to us, and that's where we put our charitable dollars for the most part.
I think of each one of those as a place that has given us a lot of happiness in our lives, also some angst, that we care about them. We're concerned about the direction that they're heading, and want to be a part of that conversation. So Linda worked and breathed and bled for children's hospitals for 46 years. Gustavus is where we met. We were married. And of course, this is what somebody asked me today, what are you doing? Oh, from here I'm going over to do this thing at church, and and later tonight I'm going over to church. And what do you do on Wednesdays? Well, that's usually a church thing. And then some Sundays we're here on church. So those are the three places that have been near and dear to us for a long time. So that's how and why we support those three. So I would invite people to come be challenged with questions and bring questions to this place too.
One of the things I love about Grace is that we have a lot of young people, a lot of kids that, it's just exciting to see. Like the VBS program was amazing. It's so fun to see the kids here and loving it here, because some churches are turning into the, sort of our generation, right? The old retired, what did your parents call them, Q-tips? Because they're not attracting the young families. And so that's what's amazing about Grace, is that we are attracting young families, and we are attracting those kids that love it here. And somehow we've come up with the staff and the resources that can energize those programs and make them be good enough to want to have all those kids want to be here. Because I think that's what churches today need, is to make sure that we aren't just supporting our generation, but to make sure we're also supporting your generation and your kids' generation.